I'm dumb, I can't code, and I'm not even a native English speaker. Yet I still got people to pay me stupid money for websites I didn't even make myself. So, if I put your hopes up, do yourself a favor and watch this whole video, because I'll show you how to build insane AI websites using Claude in just a few minutes, and then I'll show you how to land clients who will happily pay you anywhere between 1 to 5K for it. Now, if Claude is doing all the work, why would anyone with a brain pay you for it? Well, about 4 months ago, I landed a chiropractor as a client. He needed a website for his practice and he paid me $2,500 up front. If you ask me, it was a fucking ugly, lame website, but it's what the client wanted. So when I finished it, I felt like I robbed this guy, because the whole thing took me a little bit over an hour and I swear I was prepping myself to give him his money back. But then I sent it over and he came back telling me it was beyond his expectations. And that's when I realized something. Those people don't care how long it took you. They don't care if you built it or if a fucking alien built it. They just want their problem solved so they can go back to running their business. Now, how to actually pull this off and create a good looking website that they'll pay you for? Okay, so the first step we need to figure out is how the website is actually gonna look like. And to do this, we are going to go to a page called landingfolio.com, which is basically like a library of designs of websites. For our case, we will be doing a website for a local business, let's say for a dentist, okay? I am going to go into these categories and I'm going to look for health. And right here, I'm just gonna look at something that actually is somehow useful for the dental business. So let's say this looks fine, I think. Yeah, I think this actually looks sick. So I'm just gonna save this image and that's pretty much it. We have the design. Then the next thing we need to get is the Claude desktop app, okay? And we will be using something called Claude Code. Claude Code will code the entire website for us, just simply using one prompt and the reference image I just downloaded. The only caveat here is you need to get a $20 subscription because Claude Code isn't in the free version of Claude, so go get it. If you think about it, you can generate websites for 1 month straight for $20, and if you generate like 10 websites, you can actually make 10K from it, which is absolute steal. What I want to do first is I will go on my desktop and I want to create a folder, okay? So let's say website dentist one. I'm doing this because I want to save this website to that folder. I just want to select this folder inside Claude. So I'm just gonna select this. The next thing we want to do is we want to copy and paste the prompt that will literally generate the entire website using the reference design. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it right here. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click add files or photos. I'm gonna go to my desktop. I will select this design right here. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm simply gonna click enter, and then Claude will generate the entire website for us, and I'll be right back with the result. Okay, so Claude is done, and guys, what this has done is absolutely freaking nuts. Look at this, it took like 14 minutes, and if you look at this is like a full website, literally. Like, look at this, like, guys, like this is a full website with the copy, with the text. It works, like, it's like, this is insane. Now, as you can clearly see, the page is missing images. The reason is simple. AI cannot generate good images, or specifically Claude. AI can generate good images, but not Claude code. So we need to insert those images into the code. And again, the way we are going to do this is we are going to first find the images, and then we'll paste it into Claude Code, and Claude Code is going to integrate it inside. So what we want is go to this website called Pexels, and it's basically a stock image gallery that you can use for free. Don't worry, this, by the way, this is in Czech because it's my actual language. It's based off location. So if you're going to go there, it's gonna be in English. So what we want to do, we just want to go to photos, and then we want to look for some sort of dentist image. So let's see what we find. Make sure it's 16:9. Let's say this looks good. It's like guy in action, right? So we have it right here. And then what we want is we want to integrate it. So go to Claude, and now we will use the second prompt, which basically is a prompt to include images. Now obviously you have to like do it for all the images. Right now I'm just gonna do it for one image, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So we'll copy and paste this, and this says I've attached my photos. Replace the placeholders with my uploaded photos using this mapping. The image number 1 is the hero section, which is basically hero section is like this. Is the hero section photo in the headline section. Let's just see what's the resolution. 144 times 70. It's the 144 times 77. Upload it into the hero section and make sure the opacity is a bit down so the text can actually be readable. Our main goal is to make the entire hero section, including all the buttons and text, readable. Bang. Now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna add the photo. So let me just find this. Bang, bang, and again we'll wait for the result. Okay, so the update is being done, and now let's check the desktop and the file to see how it looks like. Guys, do you see how insane this is? Just using 2 prompts. Like, I'm amazed. Like, you have a professional inside website for a local dentist, and it takes you like 20 minutes of just sitting and looking at AI doing the thing for you. This is absolutely freaking insane. Now, obviously you do this for the rest of the page. So like for this photo, that photo, like you get that. We will not waste time with this. Now, the next thing we want to do is we want to upload the website somewhere, okay? So that then you can send a link to a client whenever you're reaching out to them. Because you want them to see like, hey, like this guy or this gal actually know what they're doing, and they can actually create a pretty cool website for me. So we will do it by using something called Netlify app or Netlify Drop app. And this is basically an app that allows you to host your websites somewhere else. And it's completely free. What you're going to do, you will simply browse the file that you want to use. So we will go to the desktop, website dentist, select the file, and then we will upload it. Now, as you can see, this is the website URL, and now if you want to make this public, you need to sign up for free. So just sign up for free. You're literally going to give them your email, and that's all that there's to it. If I click, I need to paste the password. But if I paste the password and I click submit, guys, like, bro, like, how insane this is. We literally created a website in like 5 minutes. So that's literally, there's all to it. Okay, so now you have portfolio, but you still don't have clients. So how do you get them? Well, when I lost my home back in 2023, I had no time to waste on all these fucking cold calls, cold emails, and crap that most of gurus tell you to do. So I had to find a platform that will give you clients consistently. And this is when I discovered Upwork. Upwork is the goldmine for freelancers. It's got 18 million clients who are looking to hire people who offer digital services just like you. The way it works is simple. Clients post jobs and you apply to them. The problem is, most people know jack shit about how to use Upwork properly to get their first client. Think of Upwork as Tinder. If you message a client and your profile looks shit, like the guy who swiped right 1 million times and had like one date, then you won't get any clients. Okay, so the first thing when it comes down to your profile is having a good looking professional profile picture. Now, the way you get this, very simple, it's free. You use something called Insta Headshots Generator. You literally just go there. By the way, again, I've included all the links and all the resources to everything I used in the description. You can get it for free. Now, the way you use it, super fucking simple. You just click create headshots now for free. You take like 10 or 12 selfies from like different angles of yourself. By the way, just make sure that like it's taken in a good lighting, okay? That's the only requirement, and that it's taken by like good phone. If it's like, I don't know, if it's just something that's low quality, the result is not gonna be great. And then what you're gonna do, you're just gonna click generate, headshot, and it will create like 10 or 15 professional looking headshots for you. So that's pretty much that. And then you're just going to use it on your Upwork profile. It's the first way to make yourself look professional. Now, when it comes down to the profile description, it's divided into two parts. Basically a headline that just must tell your client what you're doing and what tools are you using. And then second one, which is basically the profile description, which only goal is to convince your potential client to hire you. So when it comes down to the headline of your profile, just tell them what you're doing, and that is website design for local businesses. That's all, okay? Then, with the profile description, I can sit there and give you a long fucking boring lecture on what you need to do, and you would spend like 2 hours or 5 hours just creating this. Or I can give you a prompt that will make Claude generate the profile description for you. The prompt is based off of everything I learned on Upwork and after making over 47 grand on this platform. So the profile description will be 100% sure way better than if you were to manually write it. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna go get the Upwork profile prompt. And I'm gonna go to Claude, and instead of code, I'm just gonna go to a regular chat. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just copy and paste it into the regular chat. And then what is going to happen is it's gonna give me questions. And then based on those questions, it will craft a really, really good profile descriptions. So what's your freelance skill? Well, website development for local service-based businesses. Then number 2, what tools are you actually using? So this is a little bit tricky. You basically want to say like, hey, here are the tools that I'm actually using. And with the website design, most frequent tools are Go High Level, Webflow, Framer, or ClickFunnels. Those are like the 4 most common ones. Now, I'm not gonna go too much in deep, but what you basically are doing in these tools, you will just be uploading those files that you generated with AI to those tools. But I highly recommend you to just go check them out and just write this into your profile description. So Go High Level, ClickFunnels, Webflow. It's basically tools that the clients are using to host their websites. Who are 1 to 2 authority figures you learned from in your niche? What the fuck does this even mean? So I want you to imagine this. You have no past client reviews, you have nothing. So you want to display authority. Somehow tell your client, hey, this is why you should hire me instead of others. And if you have no reviews, you need to do something I call social hacking. What social hacking means is you basically borrow proof from somebody else and say you are using their frameworks and the way they are, building websites so that they get something that already worked in the past. In this way, you display authority through borrowing it from somebody else. So in our case, just say Alex Hormozy, because Alex Hormozy is like the most well-known business figure in online space. And yeah, what specifically did you study or break down from those people? So for our case, we will say, I studied his approach to booking more appointments for service-based businesses, right? Businesses. And I studied how to structure the websites for local businesses according to all of his books. Again, growing authority. Now, who is your ideal client? Very simple. Local service-based business. And what's your response time? You can say whatever, just make sure you deliver on this. So let's say 3 hours. And then, yeah, I deliver the first draft of the page, basically like the logistics of the process of working with you. I deliver the first draft of the page in 2 days and offer 2 free revisions. So basically you're giving all the context so you can give clear information to your client. And boom, let's hit enter and let's generate the profile description. Boom. So it took us like 20 seconds to generate the profile description. It's absolutely awesome. And yeah, that's pretty much this. So what you do, you just go on your Upwork profile, you click this button right here and you just change it, okay? And you just copy and paste this. Now, one more thing before we can actually do the outreach itself and reach out to clients is your portfolio section that stands right under the profile description. And the portfolio section is where most of the clients will look at first. The reason is because they want to see you can do the job. That's all that there's to it. So if you look at my portfolio, I have all sorts of different, types of websites. But for your case, what you want to do is you want to upload each one of these websites to each one of these portfolio pieces. And the way you structure it is very simple. So you just want in the headline of the portfolio itself, you just want to say like website for a local dentist, website for a local chiropractor, so that the person that's hiring you or looking to hire you knows exactly the context. In the thumbnail itself, which you edit just by clicking on these 3 dots, you just want to say the same thing, okay? Website for a local business. And then the way you created those thumbnails, super simple. You just go to Canva and you just hit create. You can create like a free account. You click create custom size. Then what you want to do is you give it a black background, then give it a text, add heading, make sure it's bit bigger. Boom. What do we do? Sweet. And just say website for a chiropractor, right? Obviously make this a bit smaller, because we want to make this look fucking like the best we possibly could. Yeah, just play with this. Yeah, I think this looks sick. And then just click share, download, and boom, you have your thumbnail. Now, if you click on this, right? If you click on the actual portfolio piece itself, you need to do one thing only. You need to give them as quick access to your portfolio piece as possible. And the way you do this is very simple. You just say what is the name of the website and what business it was done for. So as you can see here, this is an example of me doing a landing page, which is just a fancy way of saying website to sell an online course. So in your case, you will just say website to book more appointments for a dentist. Super simple. Or website to book more appointments for a chiropractor. Then what you want to do in the subheadline of the portfolio piece, you just want to say below you can click the link to actually see how the page interacts in real time. And you're going to copy and paste the link that we created before when we generated the website. And then the last thing is you want to take the screenshot of the website, just of the hero section. So if I go here, right? You want to take a screenshot of this entry of this hero section, of the section that people basically see as a first thing when they click on the link. The reason you want to do this is because you want to give your clients a preview of what they can expect when they click on the link. And that's pretty much all that there's to it. Now, after we've done the entire setup of your profile, it's time to apply for jobs. And on Upwork, it's super simple. You just go to this top right bar right here, make sure there's jobs. And then what you want to say is you just want to click the keyword. So let's say website designer. And then as you can clearly see, you can see all the jobs. There's like gazillion of jobs on Upwork. So you just pick one, make sure to pick ones that pay well, and make sure to pick ones that actually require you to create websites for local businesses. Because if someone says, I need to create a website for a marketing agency, and you don't have a portfolio, a proof that you've done it in the past, it's not worth applying to. So just look for, jobs that have local service-based businesses in the description. Okay, so let's say we want to make a website for this business because this is a service-based business. It's a real estate business, if I'm not mistaken. And what you want to do is you just click on the job, you click apply now, and here you must send a job application that's actually going to make you stand out. And the way you do it is very, very simple. We are also going to use Claude Project, and I'll explain to you why in a second. The biggest problem I had when I first started sending job applications on Upwork is I wasted so much time trying to come up with a new job application every single time. And not only did this waste so much time, but it also made my outreach so unpredictable, I knew I had to come up with a solution. And this is when I started using Claude Project. Now, the difference between regular Claude and Claude Projects is this. Think of regular Claude Chat as a barber with amnesia. Every single time you come for a cut, you have to remind him of what cut you want, even though you've been going there for years. Claude Project, on the other hand, is like a barber who remembers your cut from the day one. And that's exactly what we want for our job applications as well. We want a mechanism that's gonna generate the job applications for us. So let me show you how to set this whole thing up. You're gonna click on this folder right here, which is called projects. You're gonna click create new project. We're gonna call this Upwork proposal generator. Then what you're trying to achieve, I want to generate high converting Upwork proposals for my freelancing business. Bang. Click create a project, and then we have to give it instructions, and we can find the instructions in the top right corner right here. So we're gonna click this add button right here, and what we're gonna do, we're simply going to copy and paste the prompt that I specifically created for myself and for you as well. Copy paste. By the way, if you want to get this prompt, I've included it in the link in the description. You can get it for free. So if you want to get it, you can get it right now immediately. So we're gonna click save instructions, and then let's just generate a proposal. It's super simple. We're just gonna say, hey, can you write a proposal for me? Then the first thing it's gonna automatically ask you is, do you have past clients results to share, or are you just starting out? So just answer this. We're gonna say, let's say starting out. Then as you answer that, it's gonna basically say that it's gonna use the new freelancer structure for you, because I created two structures, okay? Some of you don't have experience, some of you already have experience. So if you don't have experience, it's gonna automatically generate a proposal that's for people who don't have reviews and vice versa. Now it asks me to share the screenshot of the job posting. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click add, and I already taken a screenshot, so I'm just gonna do it like that. I'm gonna send it over. Then what the Claude is gonna do, it's gonna read the job posting. And based on that job posting, it's gonna give me questions that it needs answered in order to write the perfect proposal. Now, what does each one of these mean? So client's first name, that's very simple. You just wanna find a client's first name, and you do that very simply. You go on Upwork, and let's say we want to go get this job, right? And then what we wanna do is we want to scroll all the way down to the past client's reviews and then just find the client's first name. We can clearly see his name is David. So I'm just gonna say David, right? Number 2, your time frame for delivery. That's completely up to you, right? So I'm just gonna say 48 hours. Number 3, to the free tools you use. Again, this is solely dependent on what you do. If you're a video editor, you use After Effects. If you're a automation expert, use Claude Code, NAN, Make, and all these things. So I'm just gonna say go high level because that's the software he needs from me. Then your freelancer type, so basically what you're doing. So I'm just gonna say YHL automation expert. And then here you can see field number 5, 6, 7, and 8. So basically, when you don't have reviews, you don't have any authority, any proof that what you do works. So you want to display the authority somehow differently. And the way you do this is you borrow authority from somebody else. So let's say you're a video editor, and let's say you say, I studied how Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, and Logan Paul structure their hooks, so you will get hooks built on frameworks that are doing 50 million plus views every single month. In this way, you're showing your client they're not getting you, but you're getting Mr. Beast, Jake Paul, Logan Paul through you, which basically means you have an authority now because you're using something in your work that works. Very fucking simple. Then the free portfolio links, you just give links to your portfolio and then your first name. So you just fill this out and that's pretty much it. And then you hit enter and you got your proposal generated. Perfect. Now you know how to create insane websites, plus how to set up your profile and send proposals that get clients on a sales call with you. But what happens when you don't know how to close a client on a call? Well, if that's your case, I created a full video where I break down how I closed a client on a call and how you can do the same too. You can watch it right here.